All right, good day, everyone. Welcome to this exciting episode of this YouTube lesson. And I'm the analogous by name. Many of you know me. I'll be looking at um organic compounds nomenclature today. So the nomenclature of organic compounds, and I'm going to look at how we give organic compounds their name, and the types of name we give them. So many of us are used to pack name only, but I'm going to go beyond that. Okay. So actually, there are three types of names you can give an organic compound. Okay. The second one is depending on the individual, depending on the source in which you obtain the organic compounds. Now, the three names are: the first one is derived name. First one is a derived name. The second one is a trivial name. Second one is a trivial name. And the third one is the one we will stay on for long, known as the IUPAC nomenclature, or the IUPAC name. Those are the those are the popular names you can actually give an organic compound, right? So these are the three types of names you can give them, and these three names are actually kind of simple if you understand them. If you quickly understand them, they are usually very simple if you understand them. Now, for these names, they are um usually technical in naming them. That means you usually require some little technique. Those are the techniques we'll be diving into straight in these lessons. So I'll quickly work on derived names very fast. So I'll look at the derived name quicker than any other name. Okay. So I'm going to work on the derived name. So derived name for derived name derived name. Now, a derived name is actually a name gotten from any other name. Yes, any name gotten from any other name is usually a derived name. So once a name is gotten from any other name, it's usually a derived name. So once names are gotten from any other names, they're usually derived. Okay. So for instance, we have the alkane CnH2n plus 2. This is an alkane. Okay. Now, when a compound replace hydrogen and alkane, let's say CnH2n plus 1, then I replace it with chlorine, it's no longer alkane again, it becomes the derived name we can derive from the alkane. This derivative is no longer an alkane, it's called an alkyl. So the alkyl groups, so we call this one alkyl chloride. So the alkyl groups are actually they actually named derived from the alkanes. So many other organic compounds have this alkyl nomenclature, have these alkyl groups in them. So that alkyl grouping or that alkyl name is a derived name from the alkane. And there are various types of alkyl group. There are various types. So I'm going to quickly dive into them quickly. So for the first derivative of the alkyl, we have something like, let's say we have CH3, now CH2, CH3, CH2. Let's say we have, now this derived group is an ethyl group. Simple. Now let's make it longer. CH3, CH2, CH2, okay, CH2. This one is called a butyl group. Now, other derived alkyl group can be this. Let's say we have CH3, still on butyl, CH3, then we have CH2, we have CH, then we have CH3. This is still a butyl. But the carbon now that is going to be attached to another group is now a secondary carbon. So this is what we call a sec butyl. Is becoming clear? So this one can be called the primary butyl, but there's no need to add primary. But this secondary is so unique, so we call it a sec butyl. A sec butyl. So for those of us not going to see this place well, it's called so this one called a sec butyl. So this sec butyl. Now, if I can still stay on my butyl, if I can still stay on butyl group, I should have something like, let's say we have something like CH3, CH3, CH. Now, CH, please watch, or rather, CH3, and we have to make it tertiary, CH3, CH3, then we have something like this. So you see, they are the same thing. So you have about 9 hydrogen in total, 9 hydrogen, 4 carbon. So this type of butyl group is called a tet butyl. A tet butyl. So such that if there's chlorine here, we call it tet butyl chloride. So if that's for derived name, though, the derived name will be, so some examiners will not even tell you that they are derived. They'll just say the product of the compound is, you have something like this. Let's say you have something like this chloride. So you're expecting to see those of us that are very comfortable with IUPAC names. Those of us very comfortable with IUPAC name. You're expecting yourself to see you're expecting yourself to see something like 2 meter 2 chloro, or 2 chloro 2 meter propane, but you won't see something like that. You see tet butyl chloride in your option. So that will be the right answer. So this is a tet butyl group. This is a sec butyl. This is a primary butyl, which we just commonly call butyl. So all these are derived name for alkyl. These are derived name for alkyl groups. These are derived name for alkyl groups. Okay, these are derived names for alkyl groups. So I will leave the board now for about 1 minute or 30 seconds. So you just write if you're writing from you're writing. So we are taking it off the radar now. We're taking it off the radar. So taking it off. So I'm going to explain two more concepts under this aspect. Then I'll move to a new one. Two more concepts under this aspect. So I want to look at something else. Like now, now this is it. I want to look at propel. I want to look at propel like this. So this is propel. This is propel. Those of us used to propel. Propane, CH3, move on, propel and propel chloride. This is propel. Now, observe for propel very well. Observe for propel very well. You see something very unique for propel. How? What do you see? You observe that I can write propel like this and say CH3. Yes, this can be also propel also. This propel can be a primary, it can be a sec propel. Sec propel. Some texts they call it isopropel. So secondary alkyl group can also be called isoalkyl group. Please take note of that. So this can be sec propel or isopropel. Same for butyl. Same for butyl. Now, but butyl is more unique in that I can have an isobutyl, something like this. So let's say we have butyl, butyl, and what's it called? Okay, CH, then CH3. So we can have something like this. We can have something like this. This is sec. This sec butyl. If you follow this lesson, this is sec butyl. Okay, this is sec butyl. If you are following us very well, that is sec butyl. Now I can have something like this. Now I'll have CH3, two of it, and I have CH2, and I have CH. So now, if I further illustrate, if I further draw this structure, I should have something like, I should have, let's say, how many carbon is it? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3. So I should have C here. So I should have something like, so let's count the hydrogen. This is, the hydrogen needs to be 9. It needs to be 9. So let's see. So 3 plus 3. So this one is 6 already. 6 already. So pardon, there's an error in this one. There's an error in this one. So should be CH3 2 bonded to C, attached to C, and that C does not have H. So that C does not have H. I should have so this that C does not have H, and I have CH. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. So if I should, it's 4 carbon. So 2, 3, 4. So if I should open it up, I'll get C. I have CH3. I have okay, there's an H there. CH3. They have H. Okay. So then I have C, then I have H, and I have H. Now, if you observe very well, observe very well, this is very similar. This is very similar to this is very similar to this. This is a very similar compound. So I want to just put the H, these two together so that you look at they are the same parent, so they are the same, they are together. So this carbon, this is the carbon, it holds to a alkyl group, getting it now. It holds to a alkyl group and it holds an extra hydrogen. So it holds to a alkyl group and holds an extra hydrogen. So I'm just putting them together, then that's the group. So if you observe very well, I can't call this one sec propyl, I can't call it tet propyl. If you are following, sorry, I can't call it sec butyl, I can't call it primary butyl. I can't call it, though it's a primary butyl group, but I can't call it sec butyl. I can't call it tet butyl. So though it has a primary group, so it's different from the normal primary butyl. If you're following very well, the normal primary butyl should be something like the straight chain butyl, but so the straight chain butyl, this is the normal primary butyl. So, but this is not like it. So what we'll just say this is an isomer of this. So simple, this is an isomer of this. So instead of calling it a primary butyl, we'll call it an isobutyl. So sometimes derived name can be very tricky. It can be very, very tricky. Can be very, very tricky. I know what I'm saying. Can be very, very tricky. So you have to just be clever about it, especially the ones that have to do with alkyl group. Ones that have to do with alkyl group. But if you're following this channel, if you watch this video 1 or 2 times, you're going to get it so quick. You're going to get it really, really quick. Okay, so I would like to quickly work on I would like to work on the last 2 derived names. Okay, the last 2 derived names. So I'll work on them quickly. Work on the last 2 derived names. Okay. So after this video, you should tell me what is a sec butyl alcohol, what is a sec propyl alcohol, what is an isopropyl alcohol. So I'm going to do some examples before we leave. So I've decided these lessons I'm going to do them in batches. I'm going to drop the video for derived name, I'll drop a video for IUPAC name, I'll drop a video for trivial name, so that the video don't become so long. Yeah. Okay. So now the next set of derivative I'll look at is the venal derivative. Yeah. The venal derivative. Now, how does the venal derivative look like? How do they look like? Now, if I have a double bond, normally double bonds, let's say, they are usually substituted. They are not unsubstituted. Usually have they can be substituted. They have hydrogen on one side. So this is ethene. Now, on a double bond, any compound you write, on the double bond, you replace one of the double bond group. So you now have something like, let's say we now have something like C, H, H, double bond C, H. Now, I'm now having a chloride there. This kind of compound is called a vinyl. So anytime the double bond or the carbon carrying a double bond, has been substituted with another group, or you remove the hydrogen from it, the compound you get is called a vinyl. It might not be ethene. We will say the definition is that anytime the ethylene, no, ethene is also called ethylene. So anytime the ethylene group of an alkene is substituted, yes, anytime the ethylene group, so the ethylene group is the group carrying the double bond, is substituted, we have a vinyl. So this is vinyl chloride. So if it is OH, here was replaced with OH, derived name will be vinyl alcohol. The IUPAC name will give us another, we have another type of IUPAC name. Okay, now the next one I'll quickly look at is the allyl. Okay, the allyl group is like this. Anytime a carbon next to the ethylene group, anytime a carbon next to the ethylene group, anytime a carbon next to the ethylene group, okay, this should be, so this is the ethylene group, okay, this is the ethylene, let me just, so this is the ethylene group. Anytime a carbon next to the ethylene group, the carbon next to the ethylene group has been substituted. So anytime a carbon further than the double bond, or anytime a carbon adjacent to the double bond, anytime a carbon adjacent to the double bond is replaced or is substituted, a carbon next to the double bond is substituted, such group is called an allyl. So what do we mean? I should have something like C H2, let's put OH here. and I have C double bond CH2. This compound is called, trivially, it is called allyl alcohol. Allyl alcohol. Pardon me for my alcohol spelling. So allyl alcohol. It's called allyl alcohol. Allyl alcohol. As simple as this. So these are some common derived names that we can encounter. So for allyl vinyl, um, another one again that's coming to my mind is the styrene derived name. So the styrene, how does it look like? Okay, um, yes, okay. Um, a styrene is actually a compound. A styrene is actually a compound. Let's say this is benzene. This is benzene, and we have H, 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 H. Okay, this is benzene, C6H6. Now, when the benzene has one of the hydrogen has been replaced by an ethylene group, okay, I'm going to explain this various ways. So you just follow. So this was an ethene group before. So let me move there. So I'll call it an ethene group before. So ethene group before. So this is ethene. So if you're following, you should be able to see this aspect of the board. This is ethene. Okay, this is ethene, and this ethene group was replaced by if I replace it, for instance, this ethene group, I replace an hydrogen, for instance, in the ethene group, I replace an hydrogen on the ethene group with, let's say I replace it with let's say replace it with chlorine. The derived name become vinyl chloride. Like here, vinyl chloride, because the carbon on the ethylene group, or the carbon carried the double bond, was replaced, so we call it vinyl. Now, instead of replacing it with chlorine, I want to replace it with phenyl group. You should know this one. When benzene loses an hydrogen, so this is benzene is C6H6. When benzene is now C6H5, it becomes phenyl. It becomes phenyl. So this is phenyl. Phenyl. Phenyl, don't forget about phenyl. C6H5 is phenyl. Okay, so because it has been replaced, the hydrogen has been lost, become phenyl. So if the hydrogen is lost, and what is replacing it is an ethylene group like this, it becomes, now if you follow me, this is vinyl, this is phenyl, this is vinyl, this is phenyl, this is vinyl, this is the phenyl aspect. Why is it vinyl aspect? It is vinyl because the hydrogen on the double bond, or the hydrogen attached to the double bond, has been substituted, but this time substituted by a phenyl group. So it's like a double derived compound. So double derived compound. Right? So this type of compound has to do with phenyl. Phenyl and vinyl is known as styrene. Known as styrene. So this one we call it styrene. So styrene is a derived compound of vinyl and phenyl. So in the IUPAC system, we can call it phenyl ethene. Phenyl ethene, because we'll give the double bond as the we treat the phenyl as a substituent, and we treat the double bond and as the the parent compound. So this is phenyl ethene. So phenyl ethene is a derived name or rather, the derived name for phenyl ethene is styrene. So that's how it works. That's how it works. So I have one last aspect to quickly show you for derived name. One last part to show you for derived name. Very um simple aspect to show you for derived name, and that aspect has to do with what's it called? Has to do with naming the compound from the homologous series. Naming the compound from the homologous series. What do I mean? So I have CH3, or rather, pardon me, CH3 is an alkyl group, so I've done with alkyl. So I have CH4, methane. Now, when I CH4 methane, so when I put something like CH3, CH4, so when I replace one hydrogen in methane, this is methane, sir. This is methane, sir. You get, when I replace an hydrogen if I replace an hydrogen on methane with CH3, so I remove one hydrogen on methane and replace it with CH3, alkyl group. So I call this one methyl methane. It's a derived name. It's like deriving the name from the parent. So this is the methane aspect. Replace it with methyl methane. Okay, let's take it from this aspect. So we have CH2C. Okay, we have CH3, CH2, and I have CH2. Okay, or I have CH3. Let's put CH3. Now, normally, those of us that are very sound, you know that this is propane. But if you see, I'll take the methane as a derivative. Take the methane as a derivative. So I'll take the methane as the unit of the compound. So I'm replacing methane. I'm replacing hydrogen on methane with ethyl group. So the derived name, so this is the methane group. This is the methane group. So I'm replacing it, I'm replacing an hydrogen on the methane group with ethyl group. So it becomes ethyl methane. Ethyl methane. Now, this name can also be treated in another way. How? Now, I can derive another name from it. Derived names are not fixed, and there are no common rules. So if you have a parent name, if you have a parent name and you just replace something on the parent with another thing, you can derive a name from there. So now I can also consider this guy as ethane. So ethane is CH3CH3. This is ethane. So it can also mean that I replace an hydrogen on ethane and I put an alkyl group. So I replace an hydrogen on ethane and I put an alkyl group CH3. So what will be the name of this compound now? The name of this they are the same thing. The name of this derived compound can be called methyl ethane. Yes, can be called methyl ethane. It's a derived name. Derived name. That's how it works. So I can have another one. Let me use a very popular one, the acetylenes. The acetylenes, that's the alkynes. The acetylenes. So I can have the acetylenes or the alkynes like this. Okay. Um, the acetylenes or the alkynes can be like this. Okay. Okay, I can have the acetylenes or the alkynes like this. So the acetylenes or the alkynes can be like this. So the first member of the acetylene is ethyne. So ethyne is CH triple bond CH. So this is ethyne. Okay, or popular, it has a trivial name, though I'll have to look at trivial name in our next class, called acetylene. So this is acetylene. So I can say CH3, C double bond, CH. Now, it's like replacing hydrogen in acetylene with CH3. So I'll call it methyl acetylene, which IUPAC, in an IUPAC standard, is called propine, methyl acetylene. Yes. So if I replace it with what's it called, with ethyl group, CH3 is ethyl group. Watch earlier videos. Ethane, CH3 is ethane. Remove one hydrogen, ethyl. Replace the ethyl. Use ethyl group to replace this hydrogen here. I should have C triple bond CH. So I use this ethyl group to replace hydrogen here. So remember, this was acetylene. So acetylene is like the trivial name. Then derived for me, it was what the derivative of it was the ethyl. So the ethyl was added plus hydrogen. So we'll call it ethyl acetylene. Ethyl acetylene. With this few points of mine, I hope I'll be able to convince you and not to confuse you that this aspect of chemistry is a little bit alarming, and we need experience sometimes while treating it. So you can watch again, get understanding, and make sure you subscribe to this video. Subscribe, click the notification button. Click the notification button. Hit the subscribe, click the notification button. More videos will come in your way. And if you must live a good life, this channel, you should follow it. Now, the do's and don'ts of life, there are some things. The next video I'll be posting, I think, on my short, you see the benefit of exercise. So, you must live a good life, things you should not eat, things that are alarming in your society. Okay, so so just click the subscribe button, share the video with your friends. Have a nice day. God bless you. So I remain the analogous. See you when I see you next.